You've heard the old saying, folks, never kick a goofball when he's down. We will get to that, but before we do, welcome to the Fellowship. My name is Adam Hawk. I am joined always by Ryan Engle, and together we own and operate Nation Golf, and we thank each and every one of you for listening, especially those listening on YouTube, where we actually get paid per listen.
Money, 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 money.
Where, oh, where to start? Ahskay Bhatia, a.k.a. Goof Goof, went choke at the Rocket Mortgage. Joe Biden and Donald Trump proved two universal truths at their first and hopefully last debate. I saw probably one of the most famous people in the world on Saturday, and we are overdue for a progress report on your new little white pocket dog, Coco.
Pocket dog? Give me a break.
Sorry, purse dog.
Your little computer fingers can't even pick her up, I bet. For one, you'd be scared to do it. And two, she'd be a little too heavy. My back.
We'll let the listeners decide just how well she is doing. But first, I want to play a little game. Would you like to play?
Do I have a choice?
You do not.
That's what I thought.
I'm going to describe a certain kind of person, and you have to guess who I'm talking about. To be clear, this is not a specific person, but a kind of person, meaning I'm not talking about an individual, but rather a type of individual. Here are the descriptors. Between now and July 10th, I will make your neighborhood a nightmare. I am loud, selfish, don't care about your bedtime, your kids sleeping, or your pet's well-being. I am the dictionary definition of a douchebag. I set off car alarms when it gets dark. I disturb the peace. I am a nuisance and a bother. I never stop, and the cops won't do anything about me. I make the world a worse place, and I have a first-class ticket to hell when I die. Who am I?
Haven't grown up yet, firework guy.
Ding, 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 ding. I am guy who lights off fireworks relentlessly before the 4th of July and up to a week after.
Yeah, we have juvenile firework guy on our street. What's great about him is he's got the Harley too. Right at nap time on Sunday, without fail, he's got to rev it up the street to get every car alarm to go off. Drives it all fast in and out. So he's also that guy. And then what's funny is those guys are also the guys who spend the most time in their driveways and in their garage with the garage door open with their buddies hanging out. And they're the first guy to squawk at you if you're driving a little over parade speed. So you're like, isn't it funny how, when you're on your cute little motorcycle that makes the bubbly noises out the exhaust pipe with your leather jacket on.
Is this a New York accent?
I don't know, dude. It's always that guy. Now you're slow down guy. You can't be annoying firework guy and, hey, slow down on my street guy. You got to pick a side here, buddy.
I understand at the age of 36 that I have carved out this weird fetish for get off my lawn takes. I am very aware that I am the guy who legitimately hates Christmas, Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, dogs, kids over the age of 12 who trick or treat, and people that drive fast through the neighborhoods. But I cannot deny who I am. And you can add this to the CVS-sized receipt. People that light off fireworks before and after the 4th are at the top of my hit list. I fancy myself as a professional wordsmith. I'm going on almost 20 years as being someone.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm going on 20 years as someone who has been paid to write, but I honestly cannot put into words how much I hate people who light off fireworks on any other day than the 4th and New Year's. Because, and I think this is fair, you tell me if this is fair, they hate me and everyone else. The amount of hate you have to have in your heart for other people to light off fireworks, scare the shit out of animals, set off car alarms, ruin the sleep of working class Americans and little kids is on such a sick and selfish level that I have no choice but to hate you back. So here's where I will leave it. If you're lighting off fireworks before and after the 4th and turning a neighborhood into a week-long war zone of noise and disturbances, I hope you blow off your fingers on your lighter hand and can't do it anymore. I really do. And I think that's fair. In the words of Forrest Gump, that's all I got to say about that.
And that's all I have to say about that.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
No one can deny how annoying those guys are. And for what? You know they spent a boatload of money on these things. It's so stupid.
Goff, Goff, Goff. We are a Goff show, kind of, sort of, sometimes.
Really?
So let's quickly talk some Goff. Did you watch the Rocket Mortgage Classic contested in Detroit, Michigan? I'll answer that. Of course you didn't.
Didn't see a swing.
Who would? The PGA Tour doesn't even expect you to watch because they have fragmented their product so badly with these elevated events that they've turned everything else into Korn Ferry Plus, as I believe you put it eloquently a few months ago. That said, I'm a sicko. I love me some pro golf. And after a weekend on the road with zero cellular telephone service and being unable to keep up with the golf, I found myself at the house on Sunday in the top dog chair with the back nine of the Rocket Mortgage Classic on.
What else would you do after being away from your family for a couple days?
I took my family on that trip. So how's that?
And left them in the hotel room?
Left them in the hotel room. That's a really interesting way to spin it, because here's what I said to them. Hey guys, I'm going on a work trip this weekend. All expenses paid. Would you like to get out of the Fullerton summer heat and come to a hotel pool while I go to the golf course and do my job? So yeah, I left them at the hotel room.
Quality time with Adam Hawk. We're live. Thanks for calling. It's quality time with Father Hawk.
Here are 3 quick takes on the Rocket Mortgage. Number 1, every time I see the overhead blimp shot of mansions lining the fairways of country clubs at all these golf courses on TV, I always think to myself, must be nice, but that'll never be me. I could never afford that. I wasn't born into the right family, born at the right time. I certainly do not have the right college degree. I could work 80 hours a week for the rest of my life and never get close to a down payment on one of those prestigious pile of bricks. However, when you're looking at fairway mansions from overhead in Detroit, completely different story. That's the one time all year where I'm actually thinking, yeah, I could buy that. I wouldn't want to, but I could, because it's Detroit. I'm probably paying more in rent for 1,000 square feet in Southern California than anyone is paying for their mortgage on their palatial country club estate in Detroit. But isn't it funny how I would rather live in a shoebox in California than live in a golf course mansion in Detroit? What a reputation that city has. Would you live in Detroit?
Not for all of the mom spaghetti in the world.
Mom spaghetti.
That's our first Eminem reference on the podcast. Well done. Take number 2. CBS's television coverage of pro golf has gotten a free pass for too long, and that ends today. I'm guilty of it too. I have always had this preconceived notion in my head that because CBS does the Masters, they're actually good at doing golf. They might be good at doing the Masters, but I'm not even really sure of that anymore. I think the Masters is just so damn good at being the Masters, and Augusta National feels like we're watching closed-circuit security cameras of heaven, that all of that covers for CBS. But whether or not CBS does a good job with the Masters doesn't matter, because they suck at everything else. I'm telling you right now, and pay attention to this next time you watch golf on CBS, they don't show golf. They do not show golf. They show the final group and maybe one other player from another group who's right there, but they don't show anything or anyone else. CBS would rather show you Amanda Renner smiling ear to ear and laughing at things that aren't funny, interviewing someone who just finished playing golf and doesn't have a chance to win, than show you actual golf. And I've got news for you. Those interviews suck too. Pro golfers talking about pro golf is the least entertaining thing you could possibly put on a television screen. Yet CBS does it 8 to 10 times a broadcast. And if that's not enough, they always have some corporate bigwig come up into the 18th tower and spin some press release jargon about all the great charity work the title sponsor is doing in the community. And we all know that's a bunch of hogwash. You all right?
No. I need some more U-Ben. Let's take a break.
Okay.
And we're back.
They trot out these suits to exaggerate about all the good they're doing in the community. And what I have to say to that is, frick off and jog on.
Jog on.
Here's why I really don't like it. Rocket Mortgage makes its billions by giving out high-interest loans to soon-to-be debt-riddled homeowners. It's a predatory business. It's a middleman company that makes money on charging astronomical fees to borrow their money. They're closer to evil than charitable. And now I got to hear from their CEO about how great they are?
Yeah.
Get bent.
Get bent.
But beyond the interviews of players who just want to get on their private jets and go home and CEOs who are lying for money, there's the fact that CBS will show you 5 replays of one swing instead of 5 other swings happening in real time at other parts of the golf course. Next time you watch, really zone in on how little golf they show. They show so much walking of the leaders between to and from their golf shots, but never show actual shots from the rest of the field. It's Bologna. Or is it pronounced baloney?
Tomato.
Horrible announcers, dumb interviews, loads of commercials, and very little golf shown. CBS, no more free pass for me.
Okay. And how much longer is Amanda Renner going to go by Amanda Renner?
That's not for us to speculate.
Are her and Rory an item?
Stop. Would you stop, please? Please. Take number 3, Ahskay Bhatia.
Your boy.
The goofball that keeps on giving. Unfortunately for Ahskay, what he gave yesterday, besides incredible content to us, was a golf tournament away and a whole lot of money. Some of it straight into our friend's pocket. More on that in just a second. But this poor, goofy-looking goofball absolutely gagged on 17 and 18. And quite frankly, folks, you hate to see it. Yeah, I said it. You hate to see it. I might be on record roasting this dude's look every chance I get, but that doesn't mean I'm rooting against him. This is golf, not late night at the Apollo. We aren't booing people off the stage here. It's a gentleman's game. I don't want to see a guy whiff a 5-foot birdie on 17 and then 3-jack from 30 feet with 2 of the most flaccid putts you'll ever see. That's not in the spirit of this great game. But that's exactly what Ahskay did. Total gag job spread across 2 holes, and he went from a lock to win to a lock for a playoff to finished in a tie for second in a matter of minutes. Brutal to watch, even more brutal to math out. Follow along with me here. By blowing that tournament yesterday, Ahskay lost $1 million.
$1 million.
Guy went from a giant cardboard check of $1.6 million to $600K. For those wondering, and I know you are, that is 20,000 pairs of ankle-hugging joggers. So you know that really hurt Ahskay.
Oh, yeah. Plus, he's got to get them tailored because they're too baggy, dude. He's got to bring them in a little bit. They're a little loose on the ankle, if you know what I'm saying. I don't root against anyone either. And I don't want this to sound malicious because when I am rooting against this thing, it's not the person I'm rooting against. I just root against every long putter missing that putt. When I see anybody grabbing that thing under their fucking chin, I just go, miss it! You fucking Yahoo! So I guess it is a guy too, but what are you going to do, Hawk? I just hate those fucking things, dude. Don't you?
I have that in my notes as well. I couldn't agree with you more. I'll get there. But I also want to note that he left 350 FedEx Cup points on the table, and let me for a second pretend to know what that means.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Make it to the Tour Championship that nobody watches.
If he ends up not making the Tour Championship this year, I guess we will all know exactly where to look for why he didn't get to East Lake. That's my extent of how much I know about FedEx Cup points, but he left a lot on the table yesterday with that 3-jack.
Yep, I agree.
Great take. Now, he did help out our buddy, Mr. Joseph Etter.
And you love to hear that.
Our dear friend, our steakhouse stalwart, America's greatest looper, because Joe Etter's boss, Davis Thompson, was tied for 3rd when Ahskay was on 18 tied for 1st. When Goof went choke, he moved down into a very improbable 4-way tie for 2nd. A 4-way tie that Davis Thompson now moved up into. Davis Thompson was all set to split T3 prize pool money 3 ways for $488K. But after Ahskay gagged and moved Davis Thompson up into a 4-way tie for second, Thompson's payout went up to $616K, meaning Davis Thompson made $128,000 on Ahskay's 3-putt. And Joe Eder, if he's getting the standard 10% caddy payout,
well, you do the math,
made 13 extra thousand for a total of nearly 62,000. Now, normally I would never count another man's money, especially our friends, but this is pro sports and all of that information is public, and the PGA Tour even rewards guys for topping the money list. So tracking dollars and cents in golf is part of the pro game. Always has been, always will be. And most caddies do get something around 10% of their boss's winnings. That said, I honestly don't know what the agreement is with Joe Eder and Davis Thompson. I just know that these guys have had an amazing couple of weeks, going top 10 at the U.S. Open for $500,000 and going T2 yesterday for over $600K. So congratulations to the good guys who really made out nice yesterday when Ahskay couldn't get the ball in the hole. And congrats on a hell of a run. It is truly awesome to be really close to a guy who's having big-time success out on the tour.
You love to see it.
And as you mentioned, this was a massive big win for anti-broomstick putter nation, which you and I are president and vice president of that. The only thing more ridiculous than 3-putting from 30 feet with the tournament on the line is doing it with a damn near anchored telephone pole.
Yeah. What are you, the guy in Italy just pushing your boat around the canals while you have a couple in striped shirts smooching? Your stick's so long it touches the bottom. You're not paddling, you're pushing.
You cover golf pretty well for a guy that doesn't watch it.
Yeah. Who's watching that tournament besides you? That tournament probably had live numbers, dude.
This past Thursday, Donald Trump and Joe Biden had a debate, and I have never in my life been happier to have been in the car without cell service. Never been so excited to miss something. Never been so in agreement with the age-old adage that ignorance is truly bliss. That said, we live in a time where it's impossible to truly ignore something.
Yeah, you're going to get the highlights no matter what.
Because as soon as I got cell service, my phone had 40 texts about the debate, specifically the part where the two of them argued over who's the better golfer. And Trump said he won 2 club championships because he's really smart and hits the ball a long way.
I just won 2 club championships, not even senior, 2 regular club championships. To do that, you have to be quite smart, and you have to be able to hit the ball a long way, and I do it.
And Biden said he was a 6 handicap when he was vice president.
I got my handicap, which when I was vice president, down to a 6.
That is not paraphrased. Those are direct quotes said at a debate between 2 presidential candidates in 2024 who are a combined 159 years old.
Biden also said that he can outdrive Trump, and if he ever wants to have that contest, let him know, and he doesn't even think he could carry a bag.
And by the way, I told you before, I'm happy to play golf if you carry your own bag. Think you can do it?
Look, I get it. Trump is an asshole. He's a New York real estate mogul. What do you expect him to be like? We know what he is. I am not sticking up for or saying anything about that guy. I will just say this. Joe Biden, I would love to see him try to play 18 holes of golf.
Think you can do it?
Give me a fucking break, people. I was waiting for Vince McMahon to jump out somewhere and see Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock come out of retirement. This is just pro wrestling. Joe Biden, come on. That guy can't golf. Are you kidding me?
He can't hit a ball 50 yards.
Trump's like, love him or hate him. You can see him right now. Is his swing beautiful? No, but there is evidence of him playing probably yesterday, hitting like a 240-yard drive or something, you know?
You have to be able to hit the ball a long way, and I do it.
He plays golf. Biden doesn't play golf. He can't even ride a fucking bike.
I got my handicap, which when I was vice president, down to a 6.
I'm surprised Biden didn't have a helmet on that stage. Honestly, That is elderly abuse propping that guy up.
Beyond the text messages I received, Golf Instagram did what Golf Instagram does.
Oh, yeah. I got the same thing, and I said, great. Time to log out.
And what Golf Instagram does is rush in as fast as they can to tell the same 3 jokes. Capital One match for the presidency.
Yeah.
If Biden is a 6 handicap, then I'm on tour.
Yeah.
Next debate at Top Golf. It's not that these jokes are lame and repetitive, which they are, but it's that they prove something I have long wondered about and will attempt to articulate right now.
Uh-oh.
Social media has turned this world into trained dogs. We bark on command, roll over on command, fetch on command. We see a cultural event and our first thought is, I have to comment on that. I have to take on that. I have to joke on that. I have to be the first on that. That's the instinct. And that comes from training. And social media offers these trained dogs the prospect of a reward if they obey the command. And the command is this: come populate our platform with your thoughts, and you will get attention. It might be some likes, some shares, some retweets. Hell, you might even go viral for 15 minutes. If you get the attention, you'll want to chase it and do it again. If you don't get the attention, you'll want to try again. Either way, here you are, a trained dog rushing to your phone to thumb out the first thing that comes to your mind. I was once told a long time ago when I was writing material for someone that if I think of something quickly, odds are a lot of other people have thought of it too. So dig deeper, take the time to find the angle that everyone else is missing, and be original. That kind of guidance and thought process does not exist with social media, especially Golf Instagram. It's a mad dash to be first, to say the initial thing that popped into your head, and to show up to a room where millions of people are making noise and consciously say to yourself, I too want to add to this noise. It's truly the behavior of a trained dog, because the real winner here are the platforms that host this nonsense. They don't care what you say or how unfunny and unoriginal and repetitive it is. They just want you there populating it. Because if you're there doing your job as a trained dog, incapable of sitting out any conversation, then they get to deepen your narcissistic addiction to their app. And they sell your addiction to advertisers who pay these platforms gaggles of money to get their message in front of you. And guess what? These advertisers know everything about you because you're playing poker with your cards face up. And the apps are taking all of your habits and selling them for massive profits. And all they have to do to keep selling you is have a like button and a share button and a retweet button that makes you feel really good about what you're saying when those buttons start to rack up engagement. You are a mark, a commodity, something and someone being sold. And you don't even realize it. In fact, what's worse is you keep doing it. You are a trained dog who goes on command to their phone to make a joke that everyone else is making. And social media will pat you on the head and throw you a bone in the form of likes and shares and retweets. And that's what happened during the debate. Golf Instagram fell over themselves to post the same thing and didn't think twice about why they're doing it, and never considered how much of a trained dog they all are. Now, does anyone listening remember life before social media? Life before everyone was given a platform to say whatever they wanted whenever they wanted to. We act this way now because we've been enabled to do so. My parents and grandparents, their generation, they never saw something on TV like the Super Bowl or the presidential debate and thought to themselves, I have to let the world know what I think about this right now. I have to keep checking back to see if the world liked what I thought about it. Hell, these people had an unspoken rule throughout America that they wouldn't even call each other past dinner time. My generation is on their phone during dinner and on the can and in the car and just dying to make noise 24/7 in a room full of noise 24/7. We're trained dogs. And that debate really hammered that home for me. And it made me long for a time where if you saw that debate, the only person you could talk to about it would have to be sitting right next to you. So I mentioned at the top that the debate proved 2 universal truths. One, that social media has turned us into trained dogs. And the second, this is the most united we've been since September 11th, 2001, right now, because I have never seen so much agreement that no one wants either of these guys as our president.
I think the bigger guy, his half, I think are still pretty fired up. But I think what you're seeing is, because you're probably listening to mostly the other side, is people are finally coming clean that they're like, I don't know about Biden, dude.
I'm not listening to either side. I'm merely going off of every conversation I have had with people, and I don't partake in them. I just listen, and the conversation is, I really wish we had someone else to choose from.
My point is that I don't think you have any conservative friends.
I'm looking at one right now.
You don't listen to what I say. You just tune out. I'm like your work wife, dude. I'm not heard around here.
Who is the most famous celebrity you have ever seen?
I would say Arnold Palmer, and then maybe right below him, Magic Johnson.
Did you talk to either of them, take a picture with either of them, ask for an autograph, shake hands with either of them?
Yeah, Magic Johnson, I got autograph and a photo. Same with Mr. Palmer. And then I gave Kobe a fist bump at Javier's in Laguna back in the day. Walked by his table and said Mamba and just kept walking. I think he appreciated that, like, I kept it real short and just walked right by him, you know?
He's got to appreciate the nature of that interaction. One, you kept it moving. Two, fist bump, way less intrusive than a handshake.
Yep.
No conversation, no request for a photo or autograph. That's great. It's going to be impossible for me not to sound like a world-class chotch when I say this, but I have seen and been around a number of famous people because of my background in radio, most of them athletes and broadcast personalities. Tom Brady, Skip Bayless, Jim Rome, Donovan McNabb, Doc Rivers. But living in LA for 10 years, there was always the occasional run-in with the Hollywood folk, like Tom Hanks down at the 3rd Street Promenade, Sean Penn at my neighborhood coffee shop, Jared Leto at a rave.
Who's Jared Leto?
You don't know Jared Leto?
No.
Dallas Buyers Club, Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah, he's kind of famous. Keep going.
Russell Brand at the movie theaters, and I delivered groceries to Don Cheadle once. And I saw a lot of musicians when I worked for Jack FM because we shared a building with K-Rock. I saw Lady Gaga, Skrillex, Deadmau5, Brandon Boyd. I say all that to say this. I'm pretty sure of all of my sightings, meetings, and brief interactions with celebrities, I think I just had an encounter with the most famous person I've ever been around. I'm not saying they're the most famous person of all time, but in terms of people I've ever been around, definitely the most famous. And it was legitimately startling. I've never been startled or lost for words around famous people, but this person did that to me. I will give you some hints, and let's see how many hints I have to give before you can guess who it is. You ready?
Okay.
I don't know if this helps, but I ran into this person at Sherwood Country Club, a place where this person is a member, and a place that is home to Wayne Gretzky and Reggie Bush, but it wasn't either of them. Do you know who it could be after that hint? Sherwood Country Club, Thousand Oaks, California.
Caitlyn Jenner.
Holy shit.
Did I get it?
Yeah. Damn it, dude.
Yeah. Did that ruin your bit?
Yes.
Awesome. Notice how I got her name right, too.
Damn it.
Yeah, she's a great conservative.
Here are the remaining hints that I was excited to get to. I cannot believe you just did that. Fuck, dude. Hint number 2, the person is 74 years old. Hint number 3, you voted for them in the 2021 governor recall election. Hint number 4, Olympic gold medalist. Hint number 5, former longtime reality TV star. Hint number 6, Playgirl cover model. And the final hint, hint number 7, used to go by Bruce from 1949 to 2015.
Who wouldn't have got that one?
That's why it was the final hint. Damn you. One of the strangest encounters in my life. I was out at Sherwood Country Club in Thousand Oaks, California, covering the prestigious 113th playing of the California State Amateur Championship. And shout out to Caden Fioroni, who outlasted 155 other players over 6 days and became just the 12th person ever to win the SCGA Am and the Cal Am. But in between 7 green and 8 tee box, Caitlyn Jenner pulls up on our group, gets out of her golf cart, leans on mine, and watches the players tee off. I'm in the driver's seat, And she was posted up leaning on my side of the golf cart for a solid 2 minutes. Then after they hit, she leans in right up in my grill and says, "Who's winning?" I don't even remember what I said because I was in shock, but I think I got out the words, "Fioroni is 5 up with 11 to play." And then she said, "A lot of golf left," and then smiled and left.
You shake her hand?
I did not.
Oh, I was going to ask if she had a strong grip.
I don't want to get canceled, so just sit the rest of this conversation out. I'm telling you right now, celebrity encounters never freak me out, but this one did. And no, it has nothing to do with Jenner being a trans person. It just had to do with seeing a unicorn in the wild and having that unicorn post up on your hip. And that voice. I've heard that voice my entire life, and it is so distinct. Now, there are famous people, and then there's Jenner, an American hero from the Olympics, a reality TV star with the most famous family of all time, the most public gender transformation ever, a beacon of inspiration to some, a laughingstock to others. The very definition of polarizing. It was wickedly uncomfortable just being in that orbit, even for 2 minutes, of someone that famous, who by sheer osmosis I know everything about, who is extremely Kardashian adjacent, and I had nothing to say at all. My mind was just completely blank, waiting for her to go away because I was so awkward. And for that to happen in a sleepy corner of a golf course out in the middle of nowhere was extra weird. I mean, it's one thing to run into a celebrity at a book signing or a mall or an event, but to have Caitlyn Jenner roll up on you in the middle of a wide open grass field in the mountains of Thousand Oaks, where it's so remote you don't even get a bar of cell service, that was bizarre.
Crazy.
You know, I've always heard when people say crazy at the end of stories, it means, okay, I wasn't listening and that wasn't entertaining, move on.
Really?
Coco, your little white dog, public enemy number one of the internet. I think we are overdue for a progress report because when this dog came into your life a couple of months ago, we had a very awkward conversation about how the internet hates little crusty white dogs with blood-stained fur, and I don't think you liked hearing that. And then I read you an article that laid out why everyone hates these dogs, and one of the reasons was because they are all named Bella or Coco, and of course, your little white dog is named
Coco.
Coco. So, since that wasn't awkward enough, let's do a progress report. As most of the listeners know, I'm not a dog guy. Never been a dog guy. But I actually took a real, genuine liking to your schnauzer, Arnie. One might even call it love. Love the guy.
Arnie's a good boy.
Then this little white dog, Coco, shows up, and she's in the office every day. I'm not a fan at first. I wouldn't even touch the thing. Didn't even want to look at the thing. Then you called me racist for not liking white dogs.
Yeah.
One of the most bizarre takes of all time.
Really?
Then I warmed up a bit to her, and hell, I might even actually say I kinda, sorta like her. I mean, it's not hate, it's not even dislike. I'm neutral, leaning towards kind of like. But, and it must be said, she's got some issues. Namely, she pisses in our office multiple times a day. And the piss smells because dog piss smells. And this office has carpet and it's 50 square feet with no windows, so it is pungent in here.
No, it's not, dude. You're such a fucking liar.
But she almost hit for the doggy bodily fluid cycle last week when on the same day, she pissed in the office 5 times, bled, and then shit in the showroom. Piss, blood, shit. All she needed to do was yak for the cycle, and I'm a little disappointed that she didn't. I will say this. I will take all the dog piss, dog blood, and dog shit in the world over one cockroach, and we haven't seen a cockroach in a long time. As your coworker who shares this office with you and works 2 jobs from a desk inside the room that is getting wrecked by this dog, I have to ask you, very kindly I might add, very humbly, do you think we'll ever see a day where the dog stops using our shared office floor as a porta-john?
The issue here is there's no doggy door. So at home, she can go out the thing, and she's doing good. She's learning. I disagree with your over emotional characterization of the events, but yeah, whatever you need to do to try to be funny. But I'm glad you spent some time last night planning your humor. That's humorous to me. What's also great is I don't buy it or believe your characterizations of it.
So do you disagree with my assessment that she will use the restroom multiple times a day in here?
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
Multiple means 2 or more.
You're making it sound like she 5 times purposely went to the bathroom on the carpet in here.
I never said purposefully.
Well, there's a difference between having an accident because someone comes in and gets her excited when they first walk in, and then like having to go and just fucking popping a squat because she wants to. There's a difference between those two things. You get that? Go ahead and sensationalize. You want to entertain those listeners, so write your little cute takes and try to make me look bad.
I'm not trying to make you look bad. I'm having a conversation. I think the audience is due a progress report because we initially spoke of this dog when it first got here. And so I'm just giving a progress report.
No, she's getting better.
I think for me, it peaked the other day when I mentioned she almost hit for the doggy bodily fluid cycle.
She had diarrhea, dude. We had to take her to the vet. She got into something.
I also think that Lars Lewis got the worst of it.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
That's what you get for having white pants.
So Lars
No
Lewis...
grown man should have white pants unless you're on vacation in the Caribbean and it's a white linen suit. If you own any other kind of white pants, burn them.
Our friend Lars Lewis...
I've had enough! I am tired of this! God damn it!
popped into the office on his way down to Dove Canyon for a round of golf. Lars Lewis, I believe, sleeps in his golf outfit, tucked in shirt, shoes, and all. Never seen him in anything other than golf clothes.
Specifically shoes.
Okay.
He wears golf shoes to the movie theater.
He wears golf shoes to drive.
Okay.
He wears golf shoes to the beach.
Okay.
He wears golf shoes to jog.
Okay.
He wears golf shoes bowling.
Okay.
He wears golf shoes here at the office.
Okay.
He comes in dressed for golf, white pants, sits down on one of the chairs in the office, stands up, dog blood on his backside.
Okay.
Then had to go play a round of golf with dog blood on the seat of his pants. The seat of his white pants.
They should not have him in that office tomorrow.
I did notice that you did not offer anything to remedy the situation.
I looked for some stain remover. We didn't have any.
Perhaps maybe offer to go get him a pair of pants at Walmart.
Hey, you came into my office and sat down on my dog's chair. There's clearly a dog blanket on there. He sat while she was on it still. Did you notice that? It's his fault.
So you prioritize dogs over human beings?
Well, when I have to watch him.
Didn't offer an apology either.
I said sorry. What are you talking about?
Did you?
I offered to clean it and said sorry.
Oh,
Where were you?
right here,
You don't listen to anything.
freaking out in my head, watching the most awkward situation of all time.
Okay.
Okay.
How was your weekend?
Really?
Really? All right, we're out of here. Thank you so much for listening to The Fellowship. We will catch you next Monday.
We'll see you next week.